Good day, students. I am Mrs. Maria Rowena G. Dalisay, and I will be your teacher in English. Our lesson for today is all about types of informational text. We have here some text structures. We have talked about external text structures, things like titles, headings, graphs, pictures, bolded words, indexes, tables of content, and others. They help us to use, access, and understand information more easily. Now we will talk about internal text structure, the way the text is written, to also help us get information from nonfiction text more easily. There are five types of text we are going to discuss: definition or description, problem solution, sequence time, comparison and contrast, and cause and effect. There are two basic types of text. I want you to watch this video.
First of all, there are two basic types of text. The first is narrative text, and the second, which we'll look at mostly in this video, is expository text. Now, the main purpose of a narrative text is to tell a story. You're going to be telling a story about yourself, maybe a story about something else, but it tells a story. A narrative text has the following characteristics while it's telling the story. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. There are characters, there's a plot, there's usually a conflict or a problem, and finally there's a setting. Narrative texts are usually written from the author's thoughts, experiences, and imagination. But the main purpose of an expository text isn't to tell a story as much as it's to inform or describe. Authors who write expository texts research the topic to gain information, and once they've gained that information, they then share it with the reader. The information, after it's gained, is organized in a logical and interesting manner using various expository text structures. And we are going to look at the five basic structures of expository text. So let's look at them. First, there's descriptive. There's sequence. There's comparison. There's cause and effect. And there's problem and solution. Those are the five most commonly used text structures in any expository text. Now, descriptive text structure, it describes the topic. Obviously, it's called descriptive text structure, so it's going to describe. It tells the reader what it is like. So whatever the topic is, it's describing the topic and it's telling the reader what it is like. It also tells the reader where to find it. The author uses photos and words to help signal the reader to a description, which might include an increased attention to the senses in order to bring the topic to life. So in other words, the author uses words to appeal to the senses. They use sensory images in the descriptive text in order to appeal to your sense of taste, smell, touch, sight, and hearing. And it brings the topic to life. There's sequential text structure. Now, in sequential text structure, events are put in time order, or they include an order of events in a procedure. Authors who are interested in explaining how things happen over a period of time often use chronological order of events, so they put them in the exact time order that they happened. Next is comparison text structure. And in comparison text structure, the author will compare two or more ideas. They may also compare two topics or subjects or objects to provide a clarity of the concepts. Cause and effect text structure has many events in history or natural phenomenon that happen as a result of other events. So there's a cause, and then because of that cause, there is an effect. Often, multiple events can occur from a single cause, which makes the relationships more complex. There's one cause, and with that cause, there are multiple effects that could happen. Authors who use cause and effect writing patterns are seeking to answer these questions: what happened and why? So the why is the cause and the what is the effect. Problem and solution text structure causes people to look for solutions and then act upon them. Authors who write this way explain an event that is a problem for the people involved. The questions often answered are: what was the problem and what did the people do to solve that problem? Now, problem and solution text structure is similar to cause and effect. And the main difference between them, though, is that cause and effect relationships occur in nature as well as in inanimate objects such as machinery. Problem and solution relationships occur only when people are involved.
So let's talk about descriptive or definition. Frequently in textbook, reading an entire paragraph is devoted to defining a complex term or idea. The concept is initially defined and then further expanded with examples and restatements. We use some signal words for descriptive or definition, like is, for example, involves can be defined. An example, for instance, in fact, also, is called, and refers to. The second one is the problem solution. The text states a problem and then suggests one or more solutions. We use the signal words a problem is, a solution is, the problem is solved by, a potential alternative is, solution, issue, a possible answer, therefore, and conclusion. The third one is sequence or time. The main ideas supporting details are written in a specific order. Changing the order would change the meaning. The following signal words are used for sequence or time: first, second, third, now, then, before, after, next, finally, following, while, last, during, on, date, not long, and when. The fourth one is comparison contrast. Points out similarities and differences between two or more topics. The signal words different from, same as, alike, like, similar to, unlike, but as well as, yet, either, or not only, but also, compared to, in contrast, while resembles, although, unless, similarly, and however. The last one is the cause and effect. Shows a relationship between the cause of something and the effect that follows as a result. The following signal words are used: so that, because of, thus, unless, therefore, since, in order to, as a result of, this led to, then, reasons for, if, then, consequently, an explanation for, this reason, nevertheless, and accordingly. Now let's have some activities. Read and understand each selection, then identify the text structure. The first one is Sports at Ericsson. I am going to read the selection and then be able to identify the text structure. There are two popular sports played at Ericsson: basketball and volleyball. Both take place inside of the gym at Ericsson. Also, each sport has two teams of people. In basketball, however, the ball can be played off of the floor, and in volleyball, the ball cannot touch the floor or it is out of play. Basketball and volleyball are popular sports at Ericsson. I'm going to give you a few seconds to answer. Did you get the correct answer? answer is compare and contrast. Now let's move on to the second activity, failing classes. Lots of students fail classes. Some students fail because the work is too hard for them. Other times they may fail because they are lazy and don't do any work. Another reason why students may fail is if they don't go to school. If you're not in class, you may miss a lot. Many students fail classes every quarter. Do you know what kind of structure is this? The correct answer is cause and effect. Let's move on to the third activity, passing classes. A lot of students have been failing classes. These students wouldn't be failing classes if they studied more, asked questions, tried harder, and came in for extra help. Even though a lot of students fail classes, they have many options if they want to pass. What is your answer? The correct answer is problem and solution. Let's move on to the fourth activity, how to use the microscope. First, plug in the lamp. Second, place a sample of what you wish to observe on a slide. Next, adjust the mirror so it reflects light from the room up into the objective lens. Then place your slide with the specimen directly over the center of the glass circle on the stage. With the low-power objective lens placed over the slide, use the force focus knob. Then look through the eyepiece with one eye while closing the other eye. And then use the fine focus knob to find. What is your answer for this activity? The correct answer is sequence or time. We have the last one, restoring the toad. Dr. Knapp doesn't want people to sit back and let the toad vanish. He believes that everyone is responsible for restoring the toad species. Dr. Knapp thinks we could help restore the toad population if we stop mowing parts of our lawns and let the grass grow wild to reserve space for the toad. He also believes we need to stop using pesticides and fertilizers. The chemicals kill the insects that toads eat. If we preserve some spaces in our lawns and stop using fertilizers, Dr. Knapp believes we can save the toads. What is your answer for this activity? The correct answer is problem and solution. So did you get all the answers? Okay, so that's all for today, students. Have a great time.